Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the TexasSpaceNavy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today we're going to talk about the Roadmap Roundup for January 27th, 2021. Star Citizen and CIG have decided that they will be releasing roadmaps or updates to the roadmap every other week on Wednesdays. It used to be every Friday they would release a new roadmap update. So it's going to be every other week now, and it's going to be on Wednesdays. So I am a couple days late on getting this out to you guys. I apologize. Work has been pretty hectic here lately. So let's get into it. So as you know, a lot of work has been done on the roadmap here recently. They've changed the way that it looks, the way it feels, the whole 9 yards. You've got different ways to look at it. You can look at it a quarter, a year, 2 quarters. The current quarter, you can break these things down into smaller parts. Really cool that they've done this for us. That's definitely made the game much more transparent to everybody. So, you know, kudos to CIG on doing this. They also still have these, I guess, written out explanations of what they've worked on for the week. So on this particular one, they go on to talk about the tracker improvements, what they've done to make the tracker look better. They have tentative stuff, which is deliverable tentatively scheduled for that quarter, but hasn't gone through the review process, so it could shift around on the roadmap. They've got committed. That deliverable is scheduled for the quarter and has passed the final review process, so there's a very low chance of the deliverable moving. And then, of course, they have released. So that deliverable has been released already. As you can see on their little window here, the release stuff is in this blue color. All blue. Committed is going to be blue. And tentative is going to have this bar, you know, this grayed out bar, grayed out look. You can see it's got color here, no color in any of these cards. So that's what we can expect going forward on the roadmap. In case you didn't know, the tentative stuff also that could move around, they don't have 70% confidence that the deliverable will hit the intended target. That's why it's tentative. There are some stuff, as we'll get into in a little bit, that should be on the roadmap but isn't yet because they haven't locked down even what quarter it could come close to being in. We'll go into that in a little bit. So you can expand and collapse like we talked about. You can see the full year review, or view of each deliverable. Some things will take a lot longer than others. You got the partial time, so you can see how long it's expected to take to deliver that particular feature. So the notable changes for January 27th, hacking tech. They've been working on the feature and it should complete on time. So, but the mission team won't have enough time to actually implement it properly into the game. So that deliverable is actually going to move from 3.13 to 3.14. So if you're hoping to be able to hack, not quite ready. It'll be a couple of quarters yet before we get to see that one. Object push and pull. So they've evaluated the work and they found it feasible to target a release for this quarter. So we should see object push and pull in 3.13. That could be very interesting, especially, you know, you're EVAing, you could be able to push and pull on objects. I don't know how that's going to work. So it'll be interesting to see them do like an Inside Star Citizen on that. Mounted guns. That's going to make it into this particular quarter, I believe. Weapons category. So they just moved it from one category to another. That's the only update really on it. Tumbrel Nova Tonk, the Tonk tank, whatever you want to call it, has been moved up in the schedule. So instead of 3.14, they are expecting to have this thing ready in 3.13. So next quarter we should have tanks in the game. Could be interesting, but we don't really have a lot to use them on, right? I guess if you find another player in a rover, you can take out the rover. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, you know, the actual uses of the tank. I guess you could roll in and take out some anti-air guns, maybe, in one. I don't know. Persistent streaming and server meshing. So this is one of the most, if not the most important feature this year. It says server meshing is an ongoing initiative that includes a variety of features and technology that help unlock the ability to expand the content and player counts of Star Citizen. Tasks associated with the deliverable span across multiple teams and disciplines. And you'll find work being done on all 4 quarters currently visible in the roadmap. While you may not see server meshing or pyro in the release view at the moment, it doesn't necessarily rule anything out. This merely means it's still being worked on, that they don't have the timeline currently figured out. It's less than 70% confidence, so they haven't targeted a particular quarter yet for it. But they are working on it. iCache. So you may have noticed that iCache is not present in the standalone deliverable on the roadmap. It's still there, but it's gotten a name change. So it's because iCache and similar technologies are now wrapped up in the persistent streaming and server meshing deliverable that we just talked about. So in addition, they've removed the convert legacy data management to iCache from the release view, as there's pending dependencies involved in work for that. So that means the fruits of these efforts won't be seen until later on this year. So they've rolled iCache into streaming and server meshing. I knew this was going to happen, but you know, I'm glad they finally clarified that for people, because they work hand in hand. I mean, iCache will work best when you have the server meshing. I don't know how they're going to make it work particularly. It should be interesting. Yeah, I'm leaving that up to them because they're the programmers. So the weapon content team, they wrapped their planning up just barely outside the window, so they haven't been able to put any of their deliverables in the release view for the publish that came out today. So expect that in a couple of weeks. So we should be able to see what they have planned for us. So weapon content team could be fun, seeing any new weapons added to the game. They've got the core tech group, the downstream content. So as they released the roadmap in December, they started adding a lot of the downstream teams. Their content will only go out to 2 quarters, because anything beyond that is really unreliable, and it's really dependent on a lot of the upstream stuff. So they can't really schedule more than 2 quarters out, or at least show the schedule more than 2 quarters out. So that, just keep that in mind for some of the core tech group. The new teams that were added to the progress tracker, some of you may be interested in some of these: the Planet Tech team, the Network team, the Persistent Tech team, the Graphics team, the Physics team, the Dev Tools team, the Engine team, the Game Services team, and the Live Tools. So expect these now to be in the progress tracker. You can go and check out some of these cool features. Like the Dev Tools team could be really interesting to look into, because they're constantly making new tools to make the job of the other developers a lot easier to do. So definitely worth checking out. Now let's take a look at the new deliverables that were added on the release view. You've got Object Push and Pull, the Tumbra Nova on 3/13, so quarter 3/13, which comes out in end of March. These two are now new added deliverables there. As you can see, here's 3/13. You've got refinery stations, no commercial overlays or non-commercial overlays. The Stanton system polish. You've got new asteroids in the Stanton system, cave entrances, drive-in, and sinkhole. You've got the mission spawn closets, which is going to be great for NPCs. We won't see as much NPC maintenance needed, I guess. The mounted guns, force reactions, more of them, missiles, guidance and control rework, the vehicle names and serial numbers. Looking forward to that. And if you hover over, it'll actually show you, it should show you, yeah. So the tentative state. Then you have the vehicle visual degradation. So that's going to be fun. You have Merlin Constellation docking. Been waiting for this for years. The missile operator mode, law system version 2 surrender, ship to station docking. So now the Idris and Javelin be able to dock to the stations, and even 890 jump because you know it needs to, and probably even the Reclaimer. There are some other big ships out there. Object push and pull, Tumbril Nova, the Crusader M2 Hercules Starlifter, and the Crusader C2 Hercules Starlifter. Now, these are not expected to be out as soon as the patch drops, but in a later drop of the patch. Now, I'm not going to go through all these over here specifically because they're still a couple quarters out, but we'll talk about what has been added to the release view. You've got Crusader in 3.14, Orison Landing Zone, Hacking Tech, NPC Healing, Radar and Scanning, which NPC Healing's cool, missions or mission spawn closets, sorry, Actor Feature Physical Inventory, Tech Healing Tier 0, looking forward to that, Weapon Charge or Drain Tier 0, the tech version or part, the RSI Constellation Taurus. I know a lot of you have been waiting on that, Connie. Shield Systems Tech Replacement, so we will finally get the sign distance fields or whatever for shields. Migrating legacy vehicle XMLs to the data core. So I wonder if that means some data mining on ships might be a little harder to do. I don't know. Vehicle module swapping. That could be interesting. I don't know if that means physicalized swapping or, you know, through the Mobi-Glass. On to 3.15, they've added small home or outpost for colonialism. I don't know if that means for us or for NPCs, you know, scattered across one of the planets or several of the planets in the Stanton system. Salvage Tier 0, the tech. Player interaction experience, actor feature, EVA Tier 2. 0G push and pull. Weapons, magazine stripping and refilling. So you're going to get some Tarkov type gameplay here. Cutting Tier 0, so you'll be able to cut through metals and hull. Bombs and space mines. Can you wait to get your A2 to blow up half the world? Crusader Ares Starfighter Inferno, Crusader Ares Starfighter Ion, and the A2 Hercules Starlifter. So they are going to nearly finish the Crusader line of ships by 3.15. 3.15 should be, October-ish when it comes out. Then you have the Aegis Redeemer, which everybody's been looking forward to for a long time, the rework of it. You've got ship interior and exterior cooling. And then in 3.16, you have Orison version 2. You have the Fighter Extinguisher Tech, Actor Feature, Lockers and Inventory, Actor Tech, Physicalized Weapon Handling, Actor Feature, Ladders, Tier 1. I believe that means we're going to be able to shoot off of ladders and do other things while we're climbing and going down ladders. You got Prone, they're redoing that. Player Slide, which means you're going to be able to slide not quite as much as on, Call of Duty or anything like that, but it will be a slight slide that you'll be able to do. Weapon misfire and wear, that's going to suck. Ship shield emitters, Origin M50, engine swapping, and dynamic door alignment. So now finally your doors will be able to go all the way down to the terrain if you're parked kind of askew or it's kind of rough terrain. Hopefully that also means the Caterpillar doors will finally be able to go all the way down. So what do you guys think of this roadmap roundup? I hope I didn't take too much of your time. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun reading through this stuff, and I will have to dig deeper into it as well. Thanks CIG for putting this out there. Not a lot of companies will be this transparent with what they're working on, and this was a huge undertaking for them. So I really do appreciate that they did this. Thank you guys for tuning into the video. I really do appreciate you guys coming back every time I post up a new video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, if you haven't subscribed, and hit that little bell icon, that notification icon, to let you know when I do more of these videos. Plus, it helps me on the YouTube algorithm. Then also, I want to thank my YouTube members and my Patreon members for being so generous over the last year. Thank you so much. If you guys want to join that group of awesome individuals, that information is going to be in the description of the video. I am also part of an org called Texas. If you're interested in joining a great org with members that are, you know, my org is fantastic. I can't say anything more. They're just fantastic. So if you want to join an org, that information will be down below as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.